What's up? You're watching Poot's Garage. This is 2 weeks after the last video. We didn't really get to work on the Corvette much last weekend because we were just so busy doing other stuff. We did get some stuff done. I don't think it was last weekend. It might have been the weekend before. But we are at the point now where we have mounted our brackets. And then I don't think I put it in the last video. We actually drilled our holes and we put nut certs in there. So we got nice threaded holes in there now. So those look nice, clean, and sleek and kind of incognito. Got the carpet cut up around them a little bit, so everything fits real nice and clean. Cat's scratching the paint as she climbs up, so yeah, it's looking really good. Make sure she doesn't try and scratch carpet. She's being good. We have our piece of wood here, which is not completely done, but we did drill the holes, and we have our bolts that we're going to be using to hold this thing down, ready to go. I guess I'm going to throw this thing in. I want to start figuring out how the wiring is going to route on this thing. Where the amps are going to mount exactly, you know, and get the attachment points all ready to go, and then drill any holes through the board where I'm going to be passing wires through and stuff like that. So once everything's kind of set and ready, then we can go through and finish this. We can do the router on the edge to soften it. We can cover it in our new material, which I'm still not completely sold on, but it's whatever. And then, yeah, we'll hopefully can get this thing finished up here soon. So I'm getting tired of working on it, honestly. I just want to get it out there and start using it. And here's another quick update. We took the Cherokee out last weekend, which is why we were so busy, and we beat the crap out of this thing. So as you can see, my door is not straight anymore. My door is completely caved in. The quarter panel's crushed. I broke out this window and the same window on that side, which was kind of amazing. But yeah, we were a little rough on it last weekend. We had this thing in some tight spots. Here's the other side. You can see we just took out this side with a rock. That was pretty gnarly, pretty aggressive. It's fun, but man, that's rough. And so the inside is an absolute mess right now because we had to go in and out of there a few times, fixing other people's rigs and getting tools and different things. But this thing actually ran good. But the day before we did all the body damage, we actually had broken our axle shaft over there. I think I made a quick video of that. So yeah, we got that all back together, and it held up good the next day. So we did all right. We did all right there. This poor Jeep's gonna have a short life if I keep treating it like this, though. Holy crap. Cars and cameras on hold. So we are slowly working through this. We're kind of cutting holes where things need to come through. There's a lot of wiring in different locations. I could probably just do it all in one spot, but I try to keep power wires separated from speaker wires, separated from RCAs even. Just try to keep the noise to a minimum, you know, picking up noise from some weird things. But we did cut our hole in the corner there. Not super proud of how messy it is over there, but where it comes through. But it just allows the carpet to actually fit how it's supposed to now, which is nice. I think I'm going to throw the board back on. And I found out a better way that I'm going to be able to run these wires to these amps. I'm literally going to drill a big hole like directly below the amp. And so since these amps are going to be on little pedestals to keep airflow underneath them and stuff like that, we'll have a hole directly under the amp, and then they can kind of come out from underneath and go where they need to go. So I think it'll keep it looking pretty clean instead of having to drill a bunch of random holes all the way through there to try and get things to dive through. So I think it'll look a little cleaner. So I think this is going to work out pretty good. So we're just slowly picking away at this stuff. Saw me hit this board with the router. First time I've ever used a router. That was actually kind of satisfying. I mean, that came out so nice. All it is I just did a little 1/4 inch round on it. Nothing too crazy. just to barely soften the edge, and it came out so nice. I like that a lot. And I went ahead and did the holes too. I mean, they feel so good. I did on the holes, I did top and bottom, so those came out real nice. On the regular board here, I just did just the top. I want the sharp bottom edge sharp. Looks good. I'm not going to bother sanding it because it's just going to get covered. But man, that would be so nice to literally just like do a black stain on, you know, that would look so good. But we're not too worried about that. We did do our 2-inch holes here underneath each amplifier, so our wires will come up through there and then feed out to where they need to go. The only thing I have left, I believe, is literally mounting the amps. So those will be kind of like the final locations, and then we'll just need to drill 2 smaller holes, I think 1/2-inch holes, for my second amp power wires to dive down, and then 2 more holes over here for them to come back up. That's it. We're almost at the point of final assembly. We're getting closer, one step at a time. Yes sir, we got the amps mounted in, well, loosely mounted where they're gonna go. All the holes are drilled. You can see I got little 15mm pedestals under here, just little plastic guys you can buy at the hardware store. So that leaves a gap underneath them for airflow. Plus I have my 2-inch hole underneath, so the wiring will come up underneath it and then kind of pop out the side and connect where they need to go. So that'll keep things super clean. Everything except the big power wires will come from underneath. The big power wires will have to dive right through the board, which is fine because I can drill a perfect hole to get those to fit nice and tight. This is coming out pretty good. I like it. I just gotta figure out the exact mounting locations of these blocks here, just to make sure there's enough room for everything to connect and not be too constricted there with all the big wire and stuff. But we're almost at the point where we'll take it back off for the 100th time and then cover it. And then pretty much from there, it's just doing the final hookups. Cut all these wires down to length and kind of bundle everything up like that can't be cut, like RCAs and stuff. Find spots to bundle them up underneath, and we're good. This is coming out good. I like it. A couple things came in the mail today. This is a little cheap oscilloscope. It's one of these little guys. So this, we're going to try to actually find out where our that Alpine deck clips at. So clipping is like the wave of AC current, I believe it would be. Top to bottom, positive and negative. And clipping is when you don't get that nice smooth arc and then voltage. It actually flatlines. So that's what gives you your dirty sound in a speaker. When it starts clipping, you're just not getting clean sound. So you pretty much, I gotta find the max volume of these decks, but I have heard some conflicting stuff where these Alpines, they actually don't clip at all at max volume, which is good. You know, it's easier for tuning. You just turn it all the way up and then you run you max out your amps to that. But it kind of makes you wonder how much is being left on the table if, you know, you can turn it all the way up and there's no clipping whatsoever. So I don't know, we'll play with it, and that's what this will be for. We'll be able to find our actual clipping points and whatnot, and I believe we can use this for the amps as well to find their actual clipping points. This is really cheap though. It's like 30 bucks on Amazon. So we're gonna find out if it works or not. It's really small, smaller than I thought it would be. Look at this thing. It's so tiny, just a little guy. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. There were some people on like stereo forums and stuff that actually recommended this little guy versus, you know, a big giant expensive unit. So we'll see how it works, but we'll give it a shot. Then I bought these really cheap but really good little tie downs. These are just simple, I forget what they call them, not cam locks, but basically you just run the end through and it just has some little teeth with the spring loaded. And then we got plans for those on the Cherokee. I'm gonna make some more permanent storage ideas in there for storage totes and stuff, but we're still waiting on the storage tote to show up. I think that's gonna take another week. Just went through and actually applied some paint to this thing. So this is actually the back side, which is not gonna be seen. The biggest thing I was concerned about is these little holes here that I drilled for the wires to go through, if you can even really see them. Because the wires are going to be going directly through there. I didn't want to see, like, you know, that tan colored wood down in the hole by chance, you know, around the wire or something. So I mainly just wanted to get some black paint in those holes, but then I decided to kind of hit these spots here. Those are covered by the amps anyways. And then I said, screw it. So I did the whole back side, even though it won't be seen. It'll be on the bottom side, but I don't know, just kind of blacks it all out and makes it, I don't know, gives me a good platform. So if you do take this thing apart, you know, it kind of looks good or whatever. But it's pretty much good. Just a quick job back here. Doesn't have to look great. Actually looks decent, but it's kind of a glossy-ish paint, so it kind of looks goofy. But anyways, we're getting ready to put on our material. This is what we're going to be putting on here. This is kind of a supposed to be a suede material. You can see it's got that suedeness to it. You can brush out. We're going to put that on there. Hopefully it kind of matches the seats. It's a little shinier than the seats, I feel like, and a lot finer material, but I think it'll look all right. If not, then we just redo it some other day and not worry about it. But that's what we're going to be putting on there. This was off Amazon. You can buy it fairly cheap. It actually has a sticky back to it, so we'll be sticking it on there. And then we'll have to figure out how we're going to, obviously rolling it over the edge is going to be fine. And then I don't know if it's going to be strong enough to stick to itself here, if we're going to have to figure out a way to screw it down or something. I don't have any staples or anything, so we might just run some little screws or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go. And then very carefully do the corners to make it look as clean as possible. That's it. We're getting real close. And we are covered. You can see this is the back side. This material is actually pretty nice. I kind of like it. It's slightly stretchy. That glue is really tacky. So it actually sticks really well to kind of everything. Probably the weakest is sticking to itself is not the best, but it seems to be pretty good. You can see how sticky that is. The good side is this side here. See how nice it is. It's that suede material that you can brush out. Looks good. The corners, did as best I could. Not too noticeable. I've never been good at wrapping Christmas presents, so the corners are always a little iffy, but no, it actually came out pretty decent. It's not really that noticeable, especially from a distance, so all I gotta do now is I'm gonna cut out all my holes. I gotta cut out my big holes, and then every mounting hole I need to make sure I do. And the one thing I like is it went past where my brackets run on the bottom side here, so when it's mounted down, it'll actually be holding that material down. So I'm worried that maybe over time it might unstick itself, but I mean, that stuff is actually on there. It's on there pretty good, so I don't think we have to worry about it coming off. Not bad. I got a little extra left over too, so we can do some other project. I kind of wanted to make like my center console or something match, like just the lid, but I don't know if I'll use this on that. It'd be nice to have an actual product for that, but I like it. So far, so good. So we're just gonna cut all these holes out, and then at that point, kind of start routing wires and making everything permanent. Oh my God, we are finally done. Look at this, this thing came out so clean. Can you see it? It's kind of cool, you can get a little sneak peek through the back window. Looks pretty gnarly back there. It's got a lot going on. This is so sick. Let me pop this thing open. Woo, look at that. This thing is done and cleaned up. So first off, I cleaned up the wiring around the sub here. We kind of got it zip tied to its little cage and everything, so that looks pretty good. But this is just so sick. So we made our wires disappear. Looking good all the way over here. Then we got the busy end here with the power coming out of the waterfall there. That looks so good. I think that looks sick. And as a whole, it just looks like kind of busy, and I don't know, like it's got a lot going on, but it's also kind of like clean and simple in a way too. So it's like that's the look I wanted. That looks good. I like that. Now we got the whole package done. The floor mats, the seats, the shifters looking good in there. You can see I got a little extra like wiring for the bass knob, and I don't know, a little microphone for that stereo. We got the new head unit. Like, this thing looks so good and so clean in there now. It's ridiculous. I can't wait to drive it. It's kind of late right now, so I'm not going to just take it out right now. I'm so glad this is done, because now I can move on to something else. Oh yeah, can't forget those tweeters and them doors, man. That thing looks so good. Love the way this looks. Pretty much all I have left is kind of hide a few of those little things on the inside I just showed you, and then like, I don't know, I gotta permanently mount those battery terminals. Those are just kind of loosely on there right now, but this thing is good. This thing is done. I'm so glad. On to the next thing.